ならば上手な嘘をついてほしいのがアイドルファンというものだ。
I don't know a great deal about this kind of world, but I gotta say his whole starting spiel comes off as quite prophetic, or at the very least, poetic. A highly detailed and incredibly gorgeous looking city scenery shot.
その頃も今みたいによく患者の病室でサボってた。
働け。
I adore humor like that. It's so up my alley. It just really smacks of Konosuba to me.
容姿やコネクションを生まれた時から持ち合わせていたらって。
Three wins here. Firstly, a great job is done on the reflections. It's harder than you think to do it so perfectly such as this. Secondly, the eyes are beautiful. They pop to the highest degree of poppingness. Super detailed, highly win-worthy. Thirdly and finally, there's something really inherently sad about a girl in her position, lamenting her position in life, and the voice actor carried that across incredibly well.
サリナちゃんも可愛いじゃん。生まれ変わる必要なんてない。
Excellent example of no exposition required to relay her feelings at the lovely comment he just made to her.
16か。
体形生成性細胞種。まだ12歳だった。
I don't know what it is, but something about that broke me immediately. Only a few minutes on screen, but it's the hope in the voice after his comment, and her pondering and perhaps doubting her even making it to 16, only to find out she passed away at 12 in the end. Children and animals, that's what gets me most of the time.
彼女が夢見た道を歩く。その姿を見届けたいだけなんだよ。
なるほど。
His whole take on the situation gets a win as well. It's very unique, touching, and very much non-one-dimensional for a character. Pregnant with a baby-related plot twist! Also though, those eyes deserve their own standalone win, don't they?
そっちは順調。今日も問題なかったよ。
Amelia from ReZero. She's one of my favourite voice actors for pure cuteness, and she kills it as Amelia. As an aside, cannot friggin' wait for season 3. I've covered the first 2 over 4 big videos if you're interested. Honestly, when I made the Konosuba comment earlier, this is exactly the kind of joke I was hoping for. Immediately had me laughing, that did, but the voice actor nailed it too. Weirdest win of the video goes to this oddly super cute looking and sounding transition.
星がすごくよく見える。東京じゃこうはいかないな。
Swear I'm seeing this more lately, but non-opportunistic wind cliche, where the weather just does its thing and doesn't only kick in when someone shares a secret or their undying love or whatever.
やっぱ溢れ出るオーラ隠せないね。困った困った。
自信家可愛い。
Little moments such as this really serve to build her character quickly, relaying her quirky nature, her confidence. In fact, they've done this so far with both of them nicely.
君はどうしようもないほどアイドルで、僕はどうしようもないほど君のファンだ。
This moment which sees the two of them become linked together in quite an oddly powerful fashion.
病院で見かけたにしても、公表されてない彼女の名字をなんで知ってる？どこ行った？
Wow, Oshi No Ko really throwing out some excellent plot twists this first episode.
真面目に考えたことはなかった。目覚めれば天国にいた。
これが今の俺。
This is actually something fairly new to me, reborn but not an isekai, as it's not another world. I like the setup for it too, nicely fleshed out, plus we got to know him for a little while too.
いい子ですね。アクアマリン。とりあえずすげえ名前つけられた。
Rudius from Jobless Reincarnation. Again, by the by, cannot wait for the second season, which will have started by the time you see this video. Check out my season 1 vids.
社長におっぱいさらすところだったよ。
For some reason, it made me laugh that a toddler helps her out by pushing the top back up. Goodness me, that legit looks near photorealistic.
ベビーシッターなんて経験ないのに。
Lilia Grey Rat from Jobless Reincarnation. That's the maid from the first season, in case you forgot.
ベビーシッターなんて経験ないのに。
Also, those super kawaii. This whole scene showing what I have no doubt is the average thought process behind a number of people who work in this industry, highlighting its much darker and seedier side. Like 3 lots of unexpected art style changes in that gorgeous transition. Showing all of their reactions and how shocked they are at how genuinely great she is, and of course the rest as well, which is telling to me. 3 big plot twists in the first episode alone, are you having a laugh? Keeping the side plot on the back burner so as not to be forgotten about is a nice touch. Animating multiple characters moving within one scene like a boss.
我は神の使いである。貴様の狼藉、これ以上見過ごすわけにはいかぬ。私、どうすれば。母と我々の秘密を守ることじゃ。
How does the plot keep on twisting like a pretzel in ways that I didn't see coming? I figured they'd be silent until they could legit talk, but nope. Surprise, the anime says.
愛について語る時の熱量は君にそっくりな子だよ、サリナちゃん。何？なんか呼んだ？そんなわけないか。
Oh, they only went and pulled out 4 epic plot twists in a single episode, didn't they?
今月の給料20万。ねえ、うちの事務所給料渋いよ。今のままじゃこの子たちを幸せにできない。
It's good to see the consistency of her character in that before they were born, she was already planning on being the loving mother, and now she thinks this much about their future in spite of her age. They did a really good job of actually moving her within the scene, rather than simply panning upwards in a still piece. She was animated in it. Couple wins here. First up, I gotta give props for all of the animation on the set. They really didn't have to do that. It's not the focal point of the scene, but they did it anyway. Second of all, it's another good side to showcase about the life of an idol, the striving to master literally every aspect of how you portray yourself. It's crazy really, and good to see. So, it's so dumb. Good CGI. いえ、我々赤ん坊ですが、そのような粗相はしないよう努めますので。どこで覚えたそんな言葉。
YouTube で少々。
すげえな YouTube って時代だな。God, I love humor like this. The reactions are priceless. おい。
何言ってんの？トーマくんに聞いてあげようか？ちょっと絶対やめてよ。
I have no idea why they keep on doing it, but they consistently animate the characters within the scene. Again, it's so much easier to pan through a shot. They're legends. Gives it a lot more life.
なのに同じフレームの中にそれ以上の勘があったらどうだ？イメージ戦略的に問題だろ？
Mine sounds strange, but I feel as though I'm learning a great deal about idol life throughout this series so far. It's not something I previously concerned myself with, but I'm certainly here for it.
マジで？
ただし、お前も出るのが条件だ。
If Oshi No Ko is doing one thing really well so far, it's absolutely that it keeps me on my toes. I'm never sure where the story is going to go next, and that's really well played. Lovely vibrant scenery shot! Take another win here as well for the stunning art style on display. I just adore those bright and colourful looking visuals, as well as on the characters themselves. It all fits together nicely.
遊びに来てるんなら帰りなさい。有馬かな、この映画の女優よ。
Gone from Hunter x Hunter! I'm sorry, I just gotta say, this whole scene has a stupid amount of stunning looking visuals in it. From the shadows on the people, from the trees, to the camera effects. Nice!
今のかな、あの子より全然ダメだった。
Talking about things that are stupid good, Megumi Han as a voice actress. She's so crazy talented, it's not even funny.
お前はすごい演技よりぴったりの演技ができる役者になれ。
Never did I think the anime would suddenly be giving me a genuinely wholesome type of friendship building between these two. I figured he's a one and done 1 minute side character. Couldn't be more wrong.
今思えば俺の演技はなかなか冴えていたと思う。
2 wins for 2 points I want to make. Firstly, I like the slow burn of their growth. Never seen it take so long to jump into someone being reborn and turning into an adult. Secondly, credit to the studio for choosing to compile what is essentially 4 episodes into one. Makes so much sense when you consider what I just said and many other factors.
私大人の女性なんだけど、女性の年齢尋ねるとかデリカシーのないガキね。
Using her not wanting to be the younger one in their twin relationship dynamic as a way by which to, for now, keep secret the fact that they know one another.
やだ、私やらない。
Not running on the spot.
いつも倒れてばかりで受け身取らないと怪我するから。
Fantastic pacing to have what I mentioned in win number 51 happen and then follow it up with this. A bit more of a deep dive on her character for the first time.
あの光は全部網膜に焼き付いてる。私の光。
They seriously know how to make a scene turn emotional all of a sudden. Even from just the music, voice acting and effects on display, it really sells that emotion for me.
私の体。
2 art style changes in a single, albeit huge, episode like it's no big deal.
私も踊っていいんだ。
Wholesome.
俺新居祝いの酒だ。飲め飲め。
わあ、森井蔵だ。
Progression is something I love in anime. I think it stems from my love for video games. Gradually improving your situation in Mafia 2, GTA 3, 4 and 5 to a degree, Elder Scrolls games and so on.
私が売れるとみんなが喜ぶ。だから私も嬉しそうにする。
Even though she may just be happy because there's money floating around, it's genuinely nice to see these two getting along like this, especially after the whole second marriage thing earlier.
その間施設に預けられて、でもお母さん釈放されても迎えに来てくれなかったんだ。人を愛した記憶も愛された記憶もないんだ。そんな人にアイドルなんてできないでしょ。
Learning more about her own sad childhood, how she felt she could never love anyone else due to never being loved herself, it was quite unexpected to hear, even though I got the vibe from the first half. Are you kidding me with that quality? Take another win! Wow!
私はまだ子供たちに愛してるって言ったことがない。この言葉を口にした時、もしそれが嘘だと気づいてしまったら。
You know, she interacts with them both in such lovely ways, it never even hit me that she hadn't said that she loves them until right now. That's so damn sad, man, and a credit to the writing.
双子の子供は元気。
Five big plot twists in the first massive episode. This is 2 max wins. I didn't expect it until I saw him at the door, and credit to my viewers who never mentioned a single thing in the community tab post. You're all legends. So sad. It's like the most important part of her life flashed by, that being with her kids. As horrible as it is, I still have to pause here to shout out that zooming through shot whilst animating them within the scene, although I'll cut it short of panning to his mother.
のことないがしろにして裏ではずっとバカにしてたんだろこの嘘つきが散々好き好き言ってつって。
It's like legit painful to listen to the rant of this thing whilst knowing she's slowly passing away at the same time. It just makes my insides tighten up in anger.
俺のことなんて覚えてもいないんだろ見逃してもらおうと。
陽介くんだよね。お土産でくれた星の砂嬉しかったな。
That mixture of her exhausted sounding voice acting and that soulful music just really pulling at my heartstrings right now.
喋るな。出血が。
ごめんね。多分これ。どうしたの？そっちで何が起きてるの？二人はどんな大人になるのかな。
Take a win for how this was handled on top of making me cry. His understanding in his eyes when he knew she wouldn't make it. Her words to him, almost talking casually. It's like real life. That confession broke me. Wanting to be there to see them grow up. Oh man.
この言葉は絶対嘘じゃない。
The I love you moment. I'd show it, but that angle showed everything.
だが案の定と言うべきか。死者をおもちゃにして他人の注目を浴びたい連中はそこらにいて、
話って何？ねえ、アイドルが恋愛したら殺されても仕方ないのね。なんでネットってこうなの？
Sticking to realism again, because isn't that sadly the truth of this world we live in? I can't believe they actually did this, but all of these people are animated by hand and none of it is CGI. That's crazy for today's anime. A stunning looking shot of Tokyo.
本当にうちの子になりませんか？でも私はあなたたちを自分の子供のように思ってる。
Oh my goodness, incredibly sweet and unexpected moment out of her all of a sudden. That was lovely. Nearly got me going again.
あのストーカーと俺を殺した男は同一人物だ。なぜ愛が入院した病院を突き止められた？情報提供者がいる。だとしたら残るは僕らの父親。
Using this moment in the story to begin branching out to the next arc of the story, as it were, now shifting the focus onto this aspect. Really stupidly good pacing so far in this one.
必ず見つけ出して俺の手で殺すまでは。
Some of the most beautiful looking art style changes I've ever seen. That's up there with the first season or two of Mob Psycho 100 and Love is War. That was wonderful and powerful.
なんだ。
俺を育てる気はない。
6 friggin' plot twists! It's too much for me!
でも本当かわいい。
初日から遅刻は勘弁してくれよ。
Now seeing them as young adults, and the best thing is, it's felt like I've been along for the ride the entire time. It was so well fleshed out and flowed so well.
俺は俺の復讐劇を始める。
He even narrates it how I just laid it out in the previous win. The first chapter is concluded, now we've moved on to the next. See what I mean? Flowed like water this plot did so far.
何にせよさ、元気に育ってください。母の願いとしてはそれだけだよ。
This lovely final moment can have a win, recorded on their first birthday, and it was already clear back then how much she loved them without needing to say it. Also a final one here for actually putting a picture in the frame, even at this distance.
無敵の笑顔だラスメディア。知りたいその秘密ミステリアス。
Absolutely banging OP, bruh. Firstly, the music is the best, especially the start, sounds bloody great. Secondly, the art is top notch and really kicks into high gear in the second half, smooth as butter. And obviously it does a nice job of pointing out the main characters and what is now driving them. 2 max wins, baby. No walking on the spot.
私はママみたいになる。何もできないまま終わる人生だってあるんだよ。私はそんなの嫌。
Credit for taking the time to flesh out more of her character, from who she used to be, to what was happening when she passed and was reborn, to how it's affected her life now.
いちごさんはあの事件の後連絡がつかなくなって、みやこさんが後を引き継いだ。
私だってやれるならやりたいわよ。
Also extra credit for expanding the show's characters into other directions. Super easy to skip forward in time and yet keep everyone in the same roles, such as the company president leaving. Also even more credit because they've taken pains to age, even if only in some small ways, the characters through time. Again, others may have kept them frozen in time, as it were.
ダメだった。
Getting to see just how much of a proper mother she ended up being for her, at the very least. Another strange win, I'll grant you, but these monitors look fantastic. Never seen anyone concentrate so much on replicating the glow.
ルビーの携帯から担当者に事態のショートメッセージを送ってあるし、愛と同じ鉄を踏ませない。絶対に。
He's actually got some super unique character progression going on that you normally wouldn't see, because he had a life, was reborn, loved I, lost her, and now is consumed with revenge.
カウトされた？
そう、いわゆる地下アイドルなんだけどね。今度ライブ見させてくれるって。その後契約とかするみたい。
Including bits like this, which is a real location in Tokyo that I've seen in pictures and videos, sadly not yet in person.
はい、これでルビーはイチゴプロ所属のタレント。
This moment would have zero impact if it weren't for the progression on her character over time whilst raising her as her own daughter, and now this makes for a very sweet scene. It's shocking when a company actually takes the time to make stuff like this look real, and it does! This is what I do!
今いい話してんだから割って入るな。そんなこと言われたってわからないわ。
After the darkness of the end of the first episode, I was waiting to see if humor would play a part in this series again, and I'm happy to see this.
からにったくもう早く言ってくれ。
Please take a rare second win here. I thought the joke was done. He comes back, sits down, begins to talk seriously again, and then this happens. That's so good.
凡人面するには10年早いよ。役者やりてんだろ。
Very glad I made the observation I did much earlier on about their budding friendship, which has now really blossomed.
アクア
Super clever way by which to have these characters end up in the same area for the next leg of the story.
星野アクア
いや一般化受けた。
なんでよ
This gets its own win. I thought they'd go for the fancy, slow motion thing, but then we got this epic reaction.
重曹を舐める天才子役
9秒で泣ける天才子役
Her misremembering her childhood talent is almost as funny as Inosuke getting Tanjiro's name wrong. Real nice ED, especially the music and the singer. It reminds me a lot of Dororo's OP or ED. I think it was the OP. And if I'm right, wow, because I covered that years ago. But yeah, real nice visuals and song.
私この人昔から好きじゃないのよね聞こえてんぞ
じゃあ俺監督のところ寄るから。
ちょっと
Shockingly putting like 5 different faces onto her here.
まだ役者やってるんだよね
いやもうやってない。
This is such a prime example of an earlier win in regards to aging everyone properly. She's a complete opposite, really, of her childhood self. The writer could have replicated her, but nope.
じゃあ私のうちとか
距離の詰め方やばくない？
This.
でも嬉しいまだこの業界にいたんだね
They do such a great job with these non-exposition bits and bobs. Just a nice little bit of stopped typing, a small smile, and then back to it. No big speech needed to let us know everyone's feelings.
おかわりいるかい？
Shockingly, Maluki Zoldyck from Hunter x Hunter, which is Killua older fat brother.
45,510通り目。
Love stuff like this. It warps you back into the serious side of the main story from the light and fluffy comedy-filled moments that came just before it.
45,510通り目。
Also take one here for again going without exposition and merely showing us how dedicated he is to finding his mother's killer by working years on cracking open her phone.
アクアは将来役者さんかなってあの言葉忘れてな
The music is good in this, nicely complements the scenes without taking over entirely, and this song really reminds me of one from Novigrad in The Witcher 3 too, replaying it for the 4th time!
はあ？なんだてめえ。
お願い二人ともやめて喧嘩はやめて
It's fantastic to me, even as a complete novice with these kinds of shows, that I knew what I was watching was terrible.
なんていうかひどいね
ストレートに言い過ぎよ
でも今なら監督の気持ちもわかるお願い私と一緒にいい作品を作って
This whole sequence gets a win for further showcasing the annoyances people have to deal with from these production companies, getting rid of old negative impressions, but also showing her growth.
俺とルビーの血縁上の父親で愛の死に関わったかもしれない男。
I enjoy how the vibe completely changes as these moments come around. The only other anime I can liken it to is Erased. Great anime that was!
細かいテクが親切で丁寧っていうか主演級の仕事なんて私にとっては10年ぶりの大仕事だからそりゃ頑張るし
Such a good way to show how much she's changed by giving us these types of scenes where she recognizes what he can do in his acting ability better than he can himself and highlights it.
演技力なんて求められてないのにそこだけは分かってないみたいだけど
せっかくだからめちゃくちゃやって帰るか。
Expanding on his character here, he's annoyed at hearing what was said about Kana, so after getting the evidence he hopes will prove his guilt, he decides to go all out acting here to aid her.
カチンコの音が強く響き、カメラが回り始める。ずっしりとした重い空気があたりを満たし。
Very poetic sounding speech from her here via internal monologue, or at the very least, a very well written and astute observation.
私の名前は有馬かな。小さい頃は天才と呼ばれ、みんながチヤホヤしてくれた。
Been a big fan of anime going the extra mile with backgrounds like this to fit the scene since Love is War blasted them my way a few years back.
でも一人にさせねえよ。無理だよこんなの。
It is so damn good that at the start of the episode, he was puddle watching. Bit weird, I thought. And now, as she is near giving up getting the most out of the actor, he enters in a seriously creepy, audibly eerie fashion by walking in the same puddles he mentioned at the start that they're not meant to walk through.
お前そばで顔見るとブスだな。
聞こえなかったか。そんな女守る価値ないって言ったんだ。
本気でやってみろよ、有馬かな。
Hats off to them. It's not even the most important scene by far, and yet it's brilliant and making me smile as he brings out the best in him and the whole production.
お前の人生は真っ暗闇だ。
Cracking! Good voice acting throughout his scene. He truly sold this entire moment to me. I've never been hyped for something like this in my entire career of doing anime wins till now.
いいシーンになりそうで、かなちゃんも嬉しいだろうね。
It's really pleasant to see everyone's emotions being worked into the moment too. She better understands what he just did for her, the other actor understands how serious she takes it, even the production team understands both of their feelings. It's just really well done, to be honest.
先生がボロボロになりながら書いた作品をあんな適当でバカにしたようなドラマにして。
それでも光はあるから。
Not only did I learn a little bit about how manga artists must feel when something is poorly adapted for whatever reason, but to see her like this, seeing her work truly come to life, it's just awesome. Always a big fan of when the characters change clothes multiple times, makes it far more realistic.
撮影お疲れ様でした。お、先生、ありがとうございました。
Really wholesome to see her getting her dues for the hard work she put into that show, and for finally someone understanding how seriously she takes acting and isn't just washed up. Ah, proper good mystery on our hands here, just like Erased. It's never the first guy you think.
教えてあげてもいいけど、ここは交換条件といこう。恋愛リアリティショーに興味はある？
This show is so weird, I swear. I never get hyped for stuff like this. But you'd think, looking at me, I just heard about some big fight happening in My Hero Academia or something. I'm hyped!
すごいコール。すみません。今日番宣で朝の生放送あって。
Nobara from Jujutsu Kaisen. Also, though, another set of amazing looking peepers.
頑張って。
Seriously impressive and wide selection of art style changes in this one, swiftly rising into the top 10. She likes my boy, enough said for a win.
お待たせ。待ってたわ。遅いじゃない。は？永遠に待ってろ。
I think they just broke the top 9!
でも私、そこまで可愛く。
いや、可愛いだろ。
Gotta be honest, it's pretty nice seeing these two form a bond like this. A nice mutual one as well, I'd dare say. Or close to it anyway.
もう何度言われても無理なものは無理。頭ではダメって分かってるのに、なんで私はいつもこう。
I think she might legit be my favourite voice actress. She's just amazingly talented and has such a wide range. I know I've shouted her out, but take one final win here for that. Kudos for going the extra mile when creating all of these movies and shows within the anime. Feels like other studios may have skipped a lot of it merely mentioning the show itself.
みんなよろしくね。
いや誰
？Such perfect timing on that.
番組に出てくれたら愛の事務所も知らないディープな裏話してあげるよ。
Another anime I oddly get similar vibes of from this one is Death Note, likely due to the style of this kind of investigation scene and his attempt to do anything to achieve his goal.
先輩、仕事ないの慣れてるでしょ？普段何して過ごしてたの？
See what I meant when I said about frequently changing clothing? Since the start we've seen dozens and dozens of clothing changes for everyone as a whole. That's seriously time consuming and impressive.
顎にジャブ入れてヌー揺らすぞこら。
Love that insult slash threat. Gotta remember that.
僕年収1億だよ。
舐めた口聞いてすんませんでした。
They are outrageously good when it comes to comedy in this one. They put a, quite frankly, absurd amount of frames into this segment.
思う存分食えよガキラボー。赤さん、買い飲み焼けましたよ。
If you know me and you know the channel, you'll know that, wow, that's a lot of no's, that I enjoy seeing people like this all together, relaxing and sharing a meal. It's very slice of life-ish.
他にもやりてえというやつが大勢いる中で選んでやったんだ。爪痕の一つでも残させろ。
It's quite sad, really, to see the best girl out of the lot with the best, most genuine personality struggling so much, even though she's trying harder than everyone else. Another aspect of showbiz.
ささ、当時は広告収入も投げ銭もなかったから YouTuber に転身したんだけどさ。
They really don't mess around with this stuff. This is like legit stuff. TikTok, YouTube, ad revenue. It's my life, basically. It's weird. Like they're spying on me.
そうやって簡単にひっついて。
カット。
一旦撮影止めます。
Oh, I feel so terrible for her and I barely even know her. Just seems really unfair and an accident. That really sucks to see.
大丈夫だから落ち着いて。分かってる。焦っちゃったんだよね。知ってるよ、茜が努力家なの。嫌いじゃない。強くて優しくて。
You can take just about the biggest surprised win for that. I did not see that reaction coming a mile off. Color me shocked.
やっぱりと思った。お前見つけたら謝れば悪い。でも謝らないで。
Glad this show is being so honest about the truth when it comes to showbiz, idols, and the horrific sludge that is a lot of the internet. That said, it's worth pointing out, a community like mine is a shining light in that dark, dank basement. A great many of you make my day with your comments. I've got some wonderful followers, so thank you.
とりあえず今は何もツイートしない方がいいかもな。何を言っても燃料を与えることになるだけだから。
男に囲われて気に入らないことがあるとすぐヒステリーになるわけでしょ。
バイバイ茜。残念だけどもうテレビで見ることはないね。
考えるのもう疲れた。
俺は敵じゃない。頼むから落ち着いてくれ。
A rare match 2 wins here. This episode was chock full of emotion and progression for Akane. It's interesting that the start and end are such a contrast in regards to ego surfing, and then by the end it shows how horrific that was for her. My boy turned up at just the right time in what was a gut-wrenching scene.
メムのやつが台風の中お前が出かけて、なのに全然帰ってこないって探し回ってんだよ。
Ah, it's so heartwarming to know that it wasn't just him, but that she was also out there in the middle of that terrible storm just looking for her.
表現の自由と正義の名のもと、毎日のように誰かが過剰なリンチに遭ってる。
Oshi No Ko has a really unique way of laying out issues in a simple and straightforward way, highlighting massive issues with the way various aspects of this world currently work.
どうして話してくれなかったの？だって
Beautiful piece of voice acting there. Wouldn't at all surprise me if she was really crying recording that, because it hits different when I hear it and gets to me far more. Not walking on the spot too! Attack of the Strolling! Okay, you finally broke through my defences and got to my tear ducts. I hope you're pleased with yourself. Take your filthy win.
続ける。こ
ままやめたくない。
わかった。
Now that's a good character progression, learning not to give up when things get tough, to reach out to someone when you're in need. A good lesson too for life.
煽った番組サイドも好き勝手言うネットのやつらにも腹が立ってしょうがないんだよ。ここからが本当のリアリティショーだ。
What a total badass! He too has come a super long way since his doctor days in a past life. Probably progressed the most out of everyone, actually.
大人がガキ守らなくてどうすんだよ。
He continues his badassery here. I'd show more, but the conversations are really quite long, and I'd definitely get hit hard with copyright claims. Such a good idea to put out their own video countering all of the BS online and getting the truth out there. Loved how they were all involved and cared so much too.
黒川茜のイメージを変革すると同時に今勝ちの人気を決定づけるものとなった。
Her reaction, the video achieving its goal, the video content itself, and now I feel like I can finally breathe again.
吸い寄せられる天性の瞳。
難しいこと言うな。抽象的です。面食いだ。恩返ししないとアクア君の好みを演じてアピールしたら喜んでくれるかな。
Oh, bless her heart! She's even taking notes about who his ideal girl is. She's so adorable.
よろしくお願いします。それではスタンバイお願いします。
Feels like her return and warm welcome from the crew should get a win. Just plain old happy, really, seeing her story ended up turning out okay in the end. Thanks to Aqua, mainly.
そうだね、アクア。あ、もうカメラ回ってる
Two wins. First of all, they did a great job of copying even her voice somehow, but how they animated the mannerisms was so good too. Second of all, the scene itself looks fantastic with the slow motion shots, especially looking so crisp and fluid.
ねえアクタン、そこのポーチ取って。
今考え事してる。自分で撮って。
それくらいいいじゃん。取ってあげなよ。ほら、茜にだけなんか素直。
Once more out of the darkness of a couple of pretty dark episodes, and we get some humour again by way of excellent reactions and voice acting. Welcome back, laughter and good times.
どうしたらいいのかな。あ、いつもの茜に戻っちゃった。
They're not on screen, but just pretend I put a me on both of them because I had the exact same thought.
ファン、母親、それとも。
You know, it's odd, I hadn't thought about this till now, but it must be tough on someone in his unique as hell position, and that's putting it lightly. Glad it's being addressed though.
今から学校サボって遊び行かね。
行く？
Totes Dob's reaction! This studio lovingly pours frames into the weirdest of moments that others would skip. I appreciate them.
どんどんと僕と星のアクアの境目がなくなっていく。
Aqua is seeing some seriously impressive and deep growth as a character. He was already in a unique position as stated in win number 166, but now the limits of his past self and present are crumbling. That is a ridiculous degree of quality, you madmen.
黒川茜という才能はおそらく何年も一緒にいた俺よりずっと深く愛を理解して行動を完璧にトレースしている。
And here things come full circle, because as much as I enjoyed the last few episodes, I was slightly wondering what connection this would have to his overall story of revenge, and here it is.
ここで手放すわけにはいかない。
マジ最悪。死んじゃえばか。
Then you get this interesting aspect to his true self. Sadness for her aside a moment, he is often using people to get at his final goal. He's a good guy, don't get me wrong, but definitely using people. It's a bit much to show, but have one here for not allowing himself to be taken advantage of and actively checking to ensure he did everything by the books to avoid their deal being called off.
っていうか詳しいよな。B 小町は世代じゃないだろ。
いやいや。
Not walking on the spot 3, Revenge of the Casual Stroll!
新生 B 小町は現在メンバー募集中なんだけど。
B 小町に私が。
Just like with win number 171, I'm glad some of these characters are being kept around. Again, it makes far more sense than letting us get to know them and then they disappear entirely.
ってことは24。
24だったよ。春頃までは。
つまり
It's a small plot twist, but it's still a plot twist and it gets a plot twist win.
気にせず自分の夢を追いなさい。ママも一緒に頑張るから。
I think the anime just broke into the top 5 of most art style changes of all time. What's going on?
夢を終える環境が整った時には、夢を終える年齢じゃなくなってた。
I am learning a fiendish amount about this world. The age factor was somewhat obvious, but I had no idea it was that bad. You're treated as old when you hit 20. I'd be geriatric in the idol world.
ようこそ B 小町へ。かくして私たちのグループにメムチョが加入。
Nothing but pure old-fashioned loveliness. Made me smile like crazy.
実際今勝ちの注目度はかなり高くて、兄の今後に関わる大きな番組になったのだろうけど。
It's pretty interesting actually how one story arc finishes and then there's this big focus on him and what's now changed in his life as a result. I quite like that progression wise.
そうはいかないよ。私たちは B 小町なの忘れた？
Just wanted to give props here to the studio for so diligently animating their eyes all the time. Must have been such a pain as they're so detailed and a big part of the anime.
そこだろうね。愛が恋をしたのは。そこなら君の求めてる答えに近づけるだろう。
どうしてそこまでしてくれるんですか？
I must admit, I really do enjoy these investigation type bits as it were, just slowly moving the plot forwards each time to the next location, next person to speak to and so on. Unexpected Toots Adorbs!
なんか最近の先輩卑屈じゃない？嫌なことでもあった？
Another case of so much talking that I could never get away with showing so much of it. But, having said that, they deserve a win and will get one for her character progression. It's sad to see her changing for the worse right now due to everything happening with Aqua. So far they've handled everyone's progression really nicely. Massive kudos for animating a music video with a genuinely nice song and singing in it all of a sudden, and it's even better because it pushes forwards her progression with the reveal of how good she is.
ある先輩になら B 小町のセンターを。うるさい！そうやって適当に褒めてれば私が落ちると思ってるんでしょ。
For like the 4th time, her voice acting! Next level, man! And the music just makes the scene all the better too. It's nice to see this group really coming together now, all of the shared experiences they're going through, getting better and better as a team.
もうアクアなんてポイしてこっち好きになろっかな。
See, now this is good. It doesn't have to be all about Aqua. Everyone fancies him, clamoring for him. It's very natural that he makes an excellent impression and she really takes to him for now.
いよいよ明日は本番。どうでしょう、彼女たち。休暇中にこんな面倒なお願い聞いていただいてありがとうございます。
Okay, well, you totally fooled me. It was Aqua. I did not see that coming. Okay, I'm not even going to delete the last win and pretend it didn't happen. You tricked me. You get a sneaky win.
憧れだから。私は昔ずっと部屋の外に出れない生活してて。
Way to bring me back down to understanding her character better again. Unlike Aqua, where it's brought up more often, I had not heard her speak of her past in so long, I forgot it was even a factor.
その人に言われたの。もし私がアイドルになったら押してくれるって。先生、今どこにいるんだろう。
Was going to include this with the previous win, but it should get its own for revealing her true feelings for him, her brother right now in this life, and how much he meant to her.
あのマスクの下はどんな面してるのか。
The reveal that it's him, but also I like seeing how ragged he looked, covered in sweat. Just shows that he's struggling but pushing through it in order to support them all. Beautiful city scenery shot, look at it!
期待に応えられなかったタレントの苦しさはなかなか言葉にできない。
If the anime is half as accurate as real life in regards to all this stuff, it's a wonder anyone wants to do it at all, but it's really opened my eyes. Let me know in the comments if this is how it is.
それで失敗するなんて今まで何度も繰り返してきた。だけど今回はあんたたちがいる。一人じゃないから怖いのよ。
This moment really spoke to me in terms of how far she had come. All the rough times, putting herself down all the time as a way by which to protect herself from the hate and disappointment over all the years. But even still, she doesn't want to let them down or drag them down. It's very sweet and enlightening. Also, from a cinematography standpoint, the whole thing looks stunning too. It's almost like this anime is an RPG and has seriously in-depth side quests. Like, his whole love reality TV show, her whole journey from I can't do anything right to having confidence once again, it goes on for a few episodes and is unexpected in a story whose main focus is a murder mystery of sorts, but I like it.
メムチョが出るんすよ。名前は聞いたことあるな。有名だよ。愛っていう伝説的な子がいてさ。
Nice touch to feature a dude from the very first episode in it, I gotta say. Rotating shot!
もっとスイートな愛を感じてたいの
Easiest max 2 wins of the whole anime. The amount of different shots they packed into this couple minutes is insane. Great looking rotating shots, some spinning and backflipping and jiving. I think that works here. I was seriously impressed by the singing and music too. Plus, it included character growth. Absolutely awesome.
誰か私はここにいていいって言って
So many cinematics packed into this final episode, oozing style all over the place. Aqua being Aqua and doing his childhood dance moves once again was such a treat, bruh.
大好きにさせてみせるあんたの推しの子になってやる
Few wins here to dish out. Firstly, I loved his reaction here to seeing her going all out, maybe stoking something in his heart all of a sudden. Secondly, another max 2 wins for another great song with yet more outstanding looking animation and visuals in general. This easily rivals the recent greats like Bocchi the Rock. Also, half the double win is because it felt so lovely in my heart to see Kana light up like she did, truly enjoying the moment. How did they make it look so photorealistic though?
あんたも哀れね。ダメよ、ああいうの本気にしちゃ。ああ、やだやだ。あんた本気で急に有馬ちゃん。
I swear she's responsible for like 90% of the comedy in this for me. She's just a perfect, flawed character, and as a side character, probably has had the most building I've seen in a while.
私と話がしたくて変なことしちゃったのバレて恥ずかしくて逃げんの
This. She's so likable like this. This food actually looks real. Like, I don't even want to think about how long someone spent on making them look so good.
あっちもそろそろ決まるはず。誰になるんだろうね。
私よ。
Interesting way to end the final episode of the first season. He's where he needs to be for the investigation. They're now surrounding him in a kind of love triangle maybe. I like it. Absolutely kawaii. Never seen either of them like this. Because that piece of music was stunning. Right up my alley. That'll do it for this one, ladies and gents. Don't forget to subscribe, check out my Patreon to vote in everything, and I'll see you all next time. Creator follower, Lefty, Corey Bush, Inakami Water, Manuel Morales, Marquez, Nick Wyndham, Allkeeper, The Ever Commander, Adelisk, Bird Without a Word, Brendan Creer, Christopher Willis, Emmanuel Gonzalez, Gaten 2000, Jessica Starks, Kepman, Comfoik, Kylie W, Magnus, Nathan Burr, Satai Kuyori, Sean, Sebastian Ramirez, Wiccan Faye, Ali 50, Baked Patats 3827, Dark Lord Blaze Soul, Dub Defender Matt Mallow, Guru, Israel Caldera, Yor Edfinson, Jonas Stahl, Jaffa 6263, Kieran Robinson, Kelnot, Kevin Nauta, Gonito, Laxus, Luis Cruz, Matthew Blansett, Nicholas C, 1928, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Peter Milligan, Saintflow 25, Sentimento, Storm 970, The Elementator Wars.